Hi, folks. So I wanted to take an opportunity to just mark a really important moment in time, especially for those of us who bravely lead challenging conversations. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern of New Zealand resigned this week. And she has been a model for all of us, I think, who do this work of what it looks like to bravely lead. Now, she said when she resigned that leaders have a responsibility to know when they are the right person to lead and when they are not. There's a deep self-awareness in that. I want to point you to some of the things we can learn from this moment in time, even if it fills us with challenges and sadness and despair, and we wish she could have stayed. Her statement points to a really beautiful example of having a brave, honest conversation with yourself, recognizing that leadership is an inside job, that it starts with you and it begins there first. She has also been a model for us of humility, courage, commitment, empathy, integrity, authenticity, and hope. Now, those 7 leadership characteristics are embodied in that one leader, in that one woman. But there are also 7 ways of being that the world needs now. So, humility, courage, commitment, empathy, integrity, authenticity, and hope. In my decades of doing this work, I have uncovered that those are the 7 characteristics that shift the space, that allow you, when you're bravely leading challenging conversations, to cross the divide, that allow us to be in relationship with each other and to center the humanity of that each of us brings so we can solve the problems that we face. So you can also find a chapter on those 7 characteristics in my book, Leading Together. Now, one of the things Prime Minister Ardern did when she talked about stepping back, because she's not the leader to lead right at the moment, is she's actually embodying for us positions of leadership. And so leading self is a foundation of leadership, and always going back to leading self-awareness, emotional intelligence, just a deep understanding of what you're committed to and what you're grounded in. But our traditional forms of leadership are leading from the front, so being prime minister. But you can still be a leader to inspire and teach us, as Jacinda Ardern will continue to do, in different positions of leadership, leading from the side, leading from behind, and leading from the space. Now, I cover these different positions of leadership in my book, but I want us to recognize that those positions are always available to us, and that we always have the choice to lead from those. And in fact, sometimes those are better choices depending on the situation that we face. As leaders, it's really important that we give ourselves full permission for authenticity. That's the thing that centers humanity, that creates a connection, that grounds us in the ways of being in which we want to lead, and that we take responsibility for impact when we're showing up with full permission for authenticity. Jacinda Ardern has been an exceptional model of this. And in her choice to step back, she's recognizing the impact she might have if she's leading from a place where she's not fully whole herself, where she needs to recover and rebuild. Now, in this position from leading from behind, because of course you're always leading if you're a leader, so she's going to lead from behind, she's also modeling for all of us resiliency, recovery, self-compassion, and a deep service to others. She's recognizing her impact, and as a result, she's making a choice that says, what does this situation require of me? What do these people need from me? And then she's asking, can I give it? Am I capable in this moment of providing what they need? And she's saying, no. So now's not the time. And she's creating space for others to lead. I ran a webinar this week called Crossing the Divide in Times of Polarization. And I was asked, when is it okay to just walk away? There are sometimes whatever we do and say is never good enough. And I think, wow, that is such a brave question, especially at this moment in time, to ask. And, one of the reasons I wrote my book, Leading Together, is that over the last decade or so of doing this work, this heavy lifting of holding space for highly emotional, conflictual conversations, I've had moments of real despair where I've really wanted to step back and think, is this really going to work? Am I going to have any impact? Are we going to shift the conversation in any way? And so I actually wrote my book out of that despair, in a call to action, in an invitation to community, in an offering of, can we do this together? Because it's going to require all of us. And so in responding to that really brave question, I want to first preface it with someone else's words. So a couple of years ago, I did a series of interviews with people I think are doing just exceptional work in this space of having brave, honest conversations, no matter what sector they're in, and really inviting others to be present as well. And one of those conversations is with former Mayor Lisa Helps, Mayor of Victoria, BC. And I want to just give you a 1-minute video of what she says her best advice is to leading in these really challenging times. So have a listen.
What would be your advice, your best advice, or some of your insights to other people, or in particular other women wanting to take a step forward into the public arena, to hold the space for brave, honest conversations? What would be your advice?
I have 2 pieces of advice. The first is, people often say to me, oh, you must have a really thick skin to be in this job. And I say that's completely the wrong metaphor. Yeah. Because if you have a thick skin, it means that nothing gets in, right? It's a barrier. Mm-hmm. And so my advice is to keep a relentlessly open heart. Yeah. And that way all the shit can wash through and get cleaned out, yeah. And then all the good stuff percolates and stays.
All right. So that's just a beautiful, beautiful answer from another leader who has the same kind of qualities as Jacinda Ardern. Now, to go back to that question, when is it okay, or is it okay to step away? I ask myself, can I be loving and kind when others are rolling with anger and fear? Can I be relentlessly open-hearted, like Lisa Helps said? And I think if you can't say yes to that, then it's always okay to step away. And it's always okay to step away if you don't feel safe, physically, emotionally, mentally, if you don't feel safe in the moment. It's always okay to step away if your buttons got pushed, and therefore you can't be of service to someone else. You're dealing with your own reaction. If we give ourselves full permission for authenticity, then we need to be really clear that in this moment, what these people need from you and what the situation needs from you might not be what you have to offer. Do you have it in your well? Is your well full, or is it only, is it running on empty? And then it's a great opportunity for you to step back and encourage others to lead, to sort of tap out, to call for a break, to set a boundary with a generous heart. It is always okay to step back. We need more forgiveness, more self-compassion, more compassion for each other in this space, more understanding that we don't have to get this perfect, but that we are human, and we are all human, as Jacinda Ardern has reminded us of that, and that we need to bring more humanity into our conversations with each other. So while I'm sad and grieving that she has stepped down as Prime Minister, the lessons that she continues to teach us are rich. Thanks for listening.